So you're supposed to know the rules like a pro so you can break them like an artist. And it's kind of what we're doing today.
We're artists.
We're artists. Simul climbing is like free soloing, but twice as dangerous. The definition of simul climbing is we're gonna climb together, tied to the same rope at the same time. Basically, if I'm on the bottom, I'm gonna be actively belaying him at the top, but if I fall, I pull him off.
Have we ever climbed together? No, we've never. I have no idea how he climbs.
Never
but
do.
If he falls, I might die. So
never do this with somebody you've never climbed with before. Talk about more positive things before we do this.
Like how we're gonna have a whole 70 meters between us, so I never have to see you.
He's so stoked on our techniques today that he wants to have all 70 meters of rope between us because it takes a 70-meter rope to rappel. So that's why we have such a big rope. And he didn't want to fold it in half because he doesn't want to see me again for the next few hours. What are we going to do to make this safer today?
We got all this weight here. So instead of just like, you know, free soloing it and not having to worry about my partner ripping me off the wall, I get to pretty much free solo it with like a few pounds of jangly bits. But these jangly bits might save me from Ryan's nonsense if he decides to blow it.
So, the idea is that he's actively belaying me up.
Ish.
Okay, to be
By
fair.
climbing.
To be fair, I have had somebody fall who was a stronger climber than me below me, and my tib lock, basically I'm still around because of it. We'll break test tib locks after this video, because that's the order in which we do testing around here.
Human testing first, in the lab later.
Yes. The idea is that it hopefully won't de-sheath the rope, but you still have the core.
Yeah, the core is the strong part.
Technically.
The sheath just for aesthetics and feel.
Yeah, so you can see it. Otherwise it'd just be white cord going up and you wouldn't be able to see the rope.
It wouldn't look good in photos.
That's what we're here for. Enough joking aside. If we put a micro traction between him and me, when he gets up to this first tree, then he's essentially belaying me while he hikes up to the next few pitches because it's low angle. So the idea is Royal Arches is not hard. How do you climb easy stuff? Getting belayed where you want and then being able to go fast when you don't feel like you need it. Half this route, I feel, more than half this route, I feel super, 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 super bummer. It's just really pointless to have a active belayer through it. And so you kind of keep moving these belay stations. And it's like a hybrid between simul climbing and normal multi-pitch climbing.
I feel like I'd never use this strategy ever to go out on a route and just simul climb the whole thing. And we're only doing this for the video, but it is nice to know how to do for like short sections. Like you did the regular Northwest face, right?
Yeah.
There's like all those easy pitches after the first like 2 5-10s.
Yeah.
And then you can like simul climb with your partner and just like move the belay up to the next hard section. But like I'd never just be like, yo, we're gonna simul climb 17 pitches today with a bunch of T-block.
I've seen a lot of people take 12 hours on this route. Never me, never ever before. Because we do every single pitch traditionally and it sucks. But I also don't want to fully simul climb. I just think that's just a little bit gnar. So I threw a micro traction between me and my partner, and if it holds, it holds. If it doesn't, well, at least I tried.
It's nice knowing you guys.
I'm going to actively not belay you.
Yeah, dude, don't even put me on belay. I'm just doing this for your video, man. I'm going up this way, dude. The foothold's over here.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Give me some slack, dude.
Here's some slack.
Thanks, dude. Oh, perfect.
Our other trad climbing video is about as helpful as this one. Did you ever watch that video?
What video?
That's probably why you're climbing with me today.
I want the slack anymore. This fucking variation, the first pitch sucks.
This variation? You mean the normal way? I thought you were going to go through the hole, man.
I was gonna, and then you convinced me not to.
So on a serious note, I got all the rope flaked here, and I'm going to start climbing, even though I have all the slack, because I can get to that first boulder without an issue, and then just kind of, I don't know, go slow while I wait for him. I also have a gree pre-installed on my setup here in order to maybe tighten myself up if he's not moving and I want to move up another 6 feet or something. So you're both actively belaying each other in the setup we're doing. So I climbed up here, all the way up here without a belay because I felt comfortable. Now he's pulling me tight and I can do the part that I wanted the belay for. And this is our thingy. You can see how easy this is, so there's no reason to belay each other through it. These guys don't look like they're having nearly as much fun. Risk factor is lower without the rope. It's going to take them less time. They're not going to get to enjoy it as much. What's the rope for?
It's for Crestjewel.
Oh, for the actual climb. Just came up all that stuff. It's got some teeth on that tree. So as I go up this easy stuff, there's no chance of me pulling them off of whatever. This is all super ledgy, so it's not, a lot of this isn't even applicable here. What I did was I put the gree in with all the rope on me, just so there was less rope between me and him. If he wanted to belay on anything, he could either wait for me to get there or tell me to actively belay him just from where I'm standing. So now I'm going to be the leader. And if I'm going to do a hard section and I don't know where he's at, what I do is I take a thing of rope and I'll climb like this with it. So if I need this extra piece, I can finish what I'm doing, and I only look and see what I have for the next few feet in front of me and to see if I want to commit to that, because I have to be aware that Ryan is not just belaying me. He's also trying to climb or clean or route find or go around a party. So, or have a party go around us. I can also place gear where I feel like I want it, and I could yell down to him and say, hey, get comfy and just throw me on a gree. So that's the convenience of having a rope whenever you want it. So you can just stop soloing when you want. But this makes soloing so much harder. This is a lot more dangerous on the spots that you're not utilizing the rope well. So that's a hand crack. Feel pretty comfortable on that. It's not a lot of gear there. But right before I go over mystery land over here, beautiful placement. We have a rope band in here. It goes up, and if he pulls down, then I'm safe-ish. At least that's the theory. Being that this has wiggle room, it's going to pull down 2 feet before it actually locks off. So I should have at least 2 feet in my hand if I'm concerned that he could potentially put any weight on it. But at least it's there. So I'm going to start climbing this crack, but I want to make sure I have enough slack. And he's kind of in a slower section, and I just did a faster section. So you have to kind of keep pace with the other person. Be mindful of where they're at. Once I have enough rope here, then I will start climbing. And he can self-belay with his gree if he wants to be tighter. And he will have to do more rope management, but at least I keep pushing the rope higher. So, but he's actively being belayed right now, albeit a mini traction.
There's nothing between us, man. This partnership's not going to work out.
So what's your plan, Stan?
We're going to go up to this pendulum thing and swing around. Then we got like the harder pitch of the whole route, and Ryan's gonna lead that normal style. I would like to just put the rope away and put it on our backs, but I think we're gonna continue to simul climb.
I might actually be down for that.
Yeah.
Once I get around to that other tree.
Yeah, that's like what I would do.
To be fair, this rope is totally getting in our way.
It is, dude.
But the finger crack down there and some other spots, and I wanted to go out on this face, and he was able to actively belay me. And the one pitch I actually want the rope for. So the rope's been nice, but if we're not using it, and half the time we are technically doing something harder than free soloing, we could put the rope away. But it's also nice to throw some teeth in when he's going to do, I mean, he's solid, but you don't want to do this with anybody who's not solid. It just makes him feel better to have it. So I just finished the crux pitch, or the only pitch, depending on how you look at this. And so I put that on the tree, and what's really cool is having a pulley there, I'm going to have less drag, and it keeps it kind of off of the tree a little bit instead of extending that sling too long. But he's going to be able to go through all this with some protection and be mostly safe while I go around the corner. Problem with this route is it goes around the corner and then up, so potentially I will have a lot of drag until he gets over to here as well. So I'm pulling the rope tight to keep it out of his way. I've got some pretty easy 3rd, 4th class ahead of me. So I just want to make sure I have a bunch of rope before I try to blast through this while he is going through the slower section. I still want some teeth between me and him. Right now we've got 2 toothed devices between him and me right now. But then the rest of it's easy terrain, but I still don't want to get too lackadaisy. Basically, as a leader, I'm doing kind of a shitty belay for him, and then he's able to belay me when I need it. As long as I keep the rope tight and he doesn't have a bunch of slack and he doesn't fall, I believe the teeth will not desheath the rope. But I mean, if you fall on toothed devices, it's going to mess up your rope. This is not meant to be fallen on, but just like worst case scenario. How was that for you?
I've had better.
You prefer less teeth when you're doing it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It's a little aggressive.
Actually, through that whole last section, you were
Pretty safe.
pretty safe. He was a top rope tough guy at that point. Like I had teeth between him, like 3 layers of teeth, and pulling him through whatever. So
Until we didn't.
until we had nothing between us. None of this is advice. This is entertainment purposes only. Would you like to see something else that'll entertain you? So this is our anchor, and this is our middle marker of a 70-meter rope. And we are going to stick with the theme today and simul rappel. This used to sketch me out, but I realized as long as we're both careful and have knots in the end of our rope, this should go well. So this is the end of your rope, and mine I tied a knot in there, and you put that in temporarily. We want to emphasize tying knots in the end of your rope. What happened recently?
Dude, people die all the time. Like, I feel like people are always wrapping off the ends of the rope. This time, there was a death in Yosemite, but it was just like somebody wrapped off the end of the rope and they fell. But if one of us made a mistake on the simul wrap, we'd both go through. Yeah. So you're relying on your partner a lot more here.
Every single rappel we do here, we're going to tie a knot. Any other notes about simul rappelling?
I think it's way safer, especially if it's like not a super well-traveled route, like not an established rappel route, like maybe one of the first few ascents. You're gonna have a lot of rock fall, and like your partner can knock stuff down on you. So if you do the traditional rappel method where one partner goes and the next one goes, you're gonna be sitting at the belay with like nowhere to move because you're clipped into an anchor. So you're not gonna have a lot of mobility, and they're gonna be kicking stuff down on you, and you just kind of have to take it. If you go down side by side, you're gonna be kicking stuff down, but there's no one below you to take it. So if you really want to take it, you can rappel traditionally.
The leaning tower goalie is super chossy.
Yeah,
that would be a good one to simul
for sure. I feel like everything's a good one to simul rappel.
But
always.
Knots in the end of the rope every time. Never not do it. Here's the knot that we put in the rope. We're going to show you this every time, so you know we think this is more important than anything else. We've got a knot in the end of our rope, and we are pulling it through while he's hanging on to that end because we don't want a knot
in this end.
In that end.
I already took it out, but we're gonna make sure with this little sphincter here. You know, there's like all different kinds of sphincters.
Is there?
Not just the booty. There's like your throat. Oh, there are hundreds probably, honestly.
Wow, I don't think that's...
sphincter right here to make sure the knot doesn't pass through.
Can you add more friction, because pulling this with one hand is... Oh, okay, so
here it is.
Triple check.
There's no way there's a knot in here. If it passes through the sphincter, can't be a knot.
All right.
So this rope's gonna fall over me.
Yeah,
so I'm like, boom.
Yeah, otherwise you're gonna nylon saw your personal anchor.
But also, like, I want the end, so I'm gonna try to like...
Because what are we gonna do to that end? Are we gonna take the time to pull it up and put a knot in it?
This time we are, dude. I like to just clip it to myself, man. I don't know. Like, I like knowing it's right there.
Yeah.
I'm psyched on that.
And we're just gonna put our gree-grees on and load it at the same time. You untied that knot, and I tied the end just to me, just so it'd be simpler. And there's another sphincter for you. So we want to make sure we're not cutting tensioned webbing with ropes. Rope on rope. Oh, yeah. Oh, no knot. Still no knot. Still looks good.
So we're gonna go to the middle mark.
Middle mark.
I also want this rope to go underneath my daisy at some point. So it's gonna go like over here.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No.
Bummer.
And what are we gonna do with the end of this rope?
We're gonna tie a knot, dude. Well, no. We're gonna tie the knot.
We're gonna tie the knot. Wow. So I have a knot in the end of my rope, and he's gonna do it to his rope.
Yeah, we gotta find the middle mark. Yeah.
We got enough rope to simul traverse.
Oh, easy, dude. Let's see if it's gonna come out. Oh! Let's see, come on. Oh, I got the end.
Nice. What are we gonna do to the end?
We're gonna tie a knot.
All right, so sphincter check.
Sphincter check, dude. Oh, that wasn't that great. There's like rope drag on the friction.
No knot. Huh. Knot. We're good.
Now this is gonna like want to drop on your side, huh?
Yep.
So that's cool.
So I'll pull this down, and you pull that down.
Yep.
All right, so this looks good. Everybody's happy. Let's see if I can catch the end of this and not lose my phone. Oh, God. Oh, I almost...
Did you get it?
No, I almost had it.
Next time. We got 20 more.
Okay. Grigri on, locked.
Grigri on, locked.
Okay, I'm gonna put some weight on it.
Discrete tension.
Discrete tension, so we're both on it.
Both working, they both lock.
I have a knot in the end of my rope.
I've got a knot in the end of my rope.
And now we can take, well, I'm gonna hang on to the other hand with the
The brake hand?
with the brake. Yeah, I'm gonna hang on to this when I put the phone down. So Ryan was very persistent on skipping a belay.
And we made it.
No, we're not. We're barely on the ledge.
We made it, barely.
Okay, my feet are on. I'm daisied in.
I'm daisied in.
And now he's got to, oh, shit. Do it.
Do it. Let her rip.
Let her rip. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's just scary at so many levels. Why do we even try filming this? This is scary without filming, man. I'm so scrunched up against this now. I can't. I was in twice in case this piece of shit broke. All right, now I'm comfortable. All right, not, except I'm not gonna tie it to me this time so Ryan can see whether or not we're gonna actually make it to the next belay rather than wonder.
But did we make it?
We were a foot too shy. Okay, so I got a knot on the end of the rope. Oh, I have my grigri locked, your grigri locked.
We should have checked this all before. We're just doing the video to show.
Yeah.
We're not just right here now checking it.
Wow, I don't think I've ever done this many rappels in my life.
Hey, only 20 more.
20 rappels later, the rope will go to the ground, but we still tied knots. And we're gonna simul this tree. We bounce tested it, so it'll be fine. I don't think anything we did in this video is helpful advice. Please don't do anything you saw in this video. Any last thoughts?
Yeah. I guess I was in the I'm free soloing this mindset, so like I wasn't gonna fall on the T-block because I don't know how that's gonna work with the sheath and the rope and all that. Also, you're like going up with more weight and like a bunch of loops of slack, and our whole idea was, whoa, yeah, we'll never have like more than 4 feet of slack out for the follower, and that just like was not the case when you're just coiling it around your neck.
I had at least 40 for some of it.
40 feet of slack, like just not safe at all. Don't do it.
Yeah.
There's like times to simul climb.
Yeah.
And like when you're doing longer routes, and this definitely is not really the route to just try to fully simul climb. You'll want to break it up into sections and do it.
Maybe to bring a 30-meter rope, belay yourself where you want it, and free solo the rest if you're that comfortable.
That'd probably be a better option for sure.
Then you can do 50 rappels to get down.
Because
Oh, so 170 meter is not recommended on this rappel, but it did work. It did work.
It's bolted for it.
I would do 250s. Can't believe you guys made it to the end of this video. Thank you. Cheers. Okay, this is an entirely separate trip or month from our simul rappel video. And this is an interesting setup, so I thought we'd add it. Would you like to give us the tour?
Yeah. So we've both got our personal anchor system.
Okay.
Attached into a sliding X. And so when we arrive at the anchor, we just clip these 2 lockers to the bolts.
Okay.
And now, as you see,
We're already in.
we're in.
You're already in.
1, 2, 3.
Well,
Waiting.
On waiting.
Well, you're gonna keep going, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But you stay attached that way.
Yep. And that way, no one can start.
Don't take it off. You guys are going another 100 feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, normally, yeah. We'd,
Yeah, that's so you do that, and then you just unclip these and leave the carabiners loose.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, here we'll do it right now. So waiting.
Waiting.
So we get it. So we're on waiting, and then we
You
just
take care of one, I take care of the other, so no one can start before the other.
Yep.
Okay.
And your anchor's away. Just drop it. And that way,
Crazy.
if he
I love
goes-
it.
If he goes and starts going down too far, you can't get away.
I
from him.
like that.
Yep.
And then we have knots on the end of the rope as well.
Yep.
Cool. All right. We'll see you down there, guys.